Narendra Modi government is influenced and controlled by fascistic Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which had to be banned in India after the gruesome assassination of father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Even while we have serious differences among those who have come together in this India political formation, we should work together to remove Narendra Modi government from center. For the first time in the history of our country, Indian citizenship is being accorded in the case of people coming from these three countries. That is true. But on religious basis. Religion has been brought in as a criteria for Indian citizenship.
Do you see that kind of resentment against the Modi government, especially in the Hindi-speaking states? It seems that he doesn't have that kind of anti-incumbency. It seems the BJP is almost likely to, win that many seats once again.
The Allahabad High Court verdict stating that Mrs. Gandhi during the election fight, there were malpractices, violation of electoral rules. Allahabad High Court gave a verdict prohibiting Mrs. Gandhi from contesting elections for another 6 years. Then she declared emergency and she presented an appearance like the President Narendra Modi that I am invincible, I am so strong. But in 77, when Mrs. Gandhi declared, when she relaxed the emergency and went for Lok Sabha election, she was routed. Entire North India, she herself lost the election. Her son, Sanjay Gandhi, lost the election. A similar situation is going to happen. Wrestlers who won laurels and medals for our country, and they have been sending representations. Narendra Modi government did not take any action. Then they were compelled to come to Jantar Mantar to agitate. They were physically attacked by police. Narendra Modi's police, Amit Shah's police. This has sent ripples. Electoral bond is nothing but legalization of corruption.
The middle classes, they are quite happy with, they seem to be happy with the Narendra Modi government's performance, and the Hindutva Nationalism, as I said earlier, that ideology is quite strong, it's working very well in the northern part of India.
You are right. You have this, ideologically they have an overarching Hindutva narrative that is influencing sections of people. You are right, I fully agree with you. But you rightly mentioned about Pulwama. In relation to Pulwama, the revelation of Satyapal Malik, the then governor of Jammu and Kashmir, this has happened now only.
Hello and welcome to a special interview with ThePrint. Today we are joined by M.A. Baby, a Politburo member of the Communist Party of India, Marxist, who was also a minister in the Kerala government earlier. He also served as the national president of SFI and DYFI, which is the student and youth outfits of the party. Welcome to the show, sir. So, if I may start with the Lok Sabha elections, the India alliance, for the there's a confusion among our viewers, especially outside Kerala, that the India alliance is there, but in Kerala, the left and the Congress-led UDF, they're fighting each other. So, can you clear that confusion as a,
You see, when we have worked for the formation of the India political arrangement, though you call it India Alliance, it's a broad political formation which brought together various political parties working for removal of Narendra Modi government at the center. Because Narendra Modi government is influenced and controlled by fascistic Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, which had to be banned in India after the gruesome assassination of father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. This is only to remind your viewers the background. And now the Narendra Modi government is going ahead with dictatorial measures two chief ministers have been arrested when Lok Sabha elections are around the corner. You see, I don't want to go into those details. So, politically, we feel, even while we have serious differences among those who have come together in this India political formation, we should work together to remove Narendra Modi government from center. And we should also work for a secular alternate government to come to replace Narendra Modi government. But we have differences on this political issue. There is no difference. But on other details, we have certain differences. For example, economic policy. We left have a view, but there Congress and BJP don't have much difference. You see. But politically, Congress and the left, we have decided to cooperate on the issue of extreme form of communalism, you see, put forward by RSS. For example, the other day, Hindu revealed the fact that while implementing the Citizenship Amendment Act, temple pujaris are given the authority to authenticate people seeking Indian citizenship from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, whether they belong to the religious group which deserves Indian citizenship. And for the first time in the history of our country, Indian citizenship is being accorded in the case of people coming from these three countries. That is true. But on religious basis. Religion has been brought in as a criteria for Indian citizenship. So these are all extraordinary situations. Therefore, we cooperate to remove Narendra Modi government from Delhi. At the same time, the core question you have asked, why there is a fight between Congress-led UDF and CPM-led LDF. This is not a peculiarity of Kerala alone. In Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, which have worked out an alliance in Delhi and few other places, they are fighting each other in Punjab. In the broad India political formation, Mamata Banerjee has been working. But in West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee is fighting independently. We are trying to work out an alliance with Congress, an understanding with Congress in West Bengal. That means a party which is Trinamool Congress, which is part of India formation, they have a different political position. There are states like Tamil Nadu, like Bihar, where we have clear-cut understanding among almost all the parties of the India formation. But India formation is practically thinking of putting up only one candidate against BJP or their ally in around 400 or more constituencies. That means around 100 or more constituencies, there would be fight among the parties which form the India formation. Right at the beginning, we said that these things would be decided on the basis of the peculiar political situation that exists in each state. So, long and short, apart from certain political differences on nuanced policy approaches on economic matters and things like that, organizationally also there are certain problems which we are trying to amicably sort out. Friendly fights we will have.
When it comes to the Narendra Modi government, they are supremely confident of returning to power. They have come up with the slogan "Ab ki baar 400 par," as if the 303 seats that they won last time, which was over and about 30 seats above what they won in 2014. They are now aiming for 400, either as NDA or as BJP. So, looking at their confidence, do you think the India bloc, the India alliance, can actually, realistically put up a challenge and try and form a government? Is it, a 2004 like scenario? Do you anticipate that, or is it just, a kind of hope that all of you have that somehow it will happen?
It's absolutely plausible and possible. You see, just compare the situation with the 1977 election, when Mrs. Gandhi was very confident. In the previous election in 1971, she had a two-third majority. Then the prestige she gained after the Bangladesh, political development. Even prominent opposition leader then, who became Prime Minister, of course, later, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he compared Mrs. Gandhi with Durga, you see. Then the situation in different states became pathetic. Corruption became rampant. Jayaprakash Narayanan started coming to the political front. Sambhurna Kranti, total revolution slogan he gave. In Bihar, Gujarat, various North Indian states, students and youth were up in arms against the corrupt practices of Congress-led governments, undemocratic attacks. The 1974 railway strike, you see, nationwide railway strike. Then 1975, June 12th, the Allahabad High Court verdict stating that Mrs. Gandhi, during the election fight, there were malpractices, violation of electoral rules. Allahabad High Court gave a verdict prohibiting Mrs. Gandhi from contesting elections for another 6 years. And her Lok Sabha membership was also... Anyway, I don't want to go into the details. Then she declared emergency and she presented an appearance like the President Narendra Modi, that I am invincible, I am so strong. She suppressed the opposition. This was done by Congress, you see. Actually, the present dictatorial moves of Narendra Modi is something which I think he is emulating Mrs. Gandhi. But in 77, when Mrs. Gandhi declared, when she relaxed emergency and went for Lok Sabha election, she was rooted. Entire North India, you see, she herself lost the election. Her son, Sanjay Gandhi, lost the election. A similar situation is going to happen.
But do you see that kind of resentment against the Modi government, especially in the Hindi-speaking states? It seems that he doesn't have that kind of anti-incumbency, especially in northern India, central India, west, the states where the BJP won big last time. The BJP, going by the surveys which have been released, it seems the BJP is almost likely to, win that many seats once again, if not maybe a few seats less. So how are you comparing the situation with 1977, when there seems to be some kind of, it's not really comparable that way?
You see, first of all, the region where BJP is mostly expecting seats to be won, they have already won their maximum in the last parliament elections. So they can only go down, number one. Number two, parties have been deserting BJP. Next door, Tamil Nadu, their strong ally ADMK is no more with BJP. In Punjab, their ally Agalidal is no more with BJP. Apart from parties deserting BJP, people are deserting BJP. For example, the agitation of women wrestlers in Delhi, the message that he has sent across the country. Mr. Narendra Modi speaks about empowerment of women. But here is a case where a serving BJP member of parliament, a colleague of Narendra Modi, head of wrestling federation, he was molesting, wrestlers who won laurels and medals for our country. And they have been sending representations. Narendra Modi government did not take any action. Then they were compelled to come to Jantar Mandar to agitate. They were physically attacked by police. Narendra Modi's police, Amit Shah's police. This has sent ripples. So apart from that, now the latest development, that is electoral bond. Electoral bond is nothing but legalization of corruption. Now, the Narendra Modi government did not have any compunction to state untruths before the Supreme Court of India. By middle February, Supreme Court said that electoral bond, this is unconstitutional. We cancel the entire scheme. Then State Bank of India, which is with Government of India, overseen by Finance Ministry, SBI was asked by Supreme Court to give every detail related to electoral bonds. Who bought the bonds, how this has been distributed, who cashed it and all that. All that information is available with State Bank of India. They argued that we don't have that information. But a colleague of yours, a journalist, Poonam Agarwal, she only proved that there is code. So, who bought it? SBI knows. Who cashed it? SBI knows. So, first they were lying on behalf of the central government, Narendra Modi government. Finally, Supreme Court called the shot. They said that you have to give it by 6th March to Election Commission, and by mid-March, Election Commission should publicize it. What did, on behalf of Narendra Modi, Amit Shah and Nirmala Sitharaman, what did SBI submit before the Supreme Court on 4th of March, when only 2 more days were left for they to fulfill the verdict of Supreme Court? They said no, only by June we will be able to do that. It is practically impossible. By June, election should be over. Then Supreme Court said, nothing doing. You have to do it. When Supreme Court said nothing doing, within another 3-4 days they submitted everything. What does this mean? Without discussing with Narendra Modi, Nirmala Sitharaman and Amit Shah, State Bank of India will go to Supreme Court on behalf of the central government. So, the central government now, if you reasonably analyze it,
I agree that the electoral bonds is a big issue.
Unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional, and as you said,
legalization of corruption.
Yeah, legalized corruption. But all this, the media is in, a large section of the media is in cahoots with the BJP, and the political parties, especially Congress, which is the main opposition party, and also the other parties. There's no protest happening in the streets. You compared with 1974 and 75 when there was railway strike, George Fernandez, people like them, Jayaprakash Narayan was still alive. But today,
P M Arsho, CIT leaders,
yes,
they were in the forefront.
They were in the forefront. So there was political mobilization happening on those issues on the ground. But today these are happening just in the TV studios, nothing more than that. People make statements, the media either carries or doesn't carry or give it as much importance. I don't know how much importance it gives, because a large section of the media is aligned to the BJP. And then how do you propose? I mean, how do you think this issue has to resonate with the people who are the voters? How do you think it will happen?
No, partially you are right. The kind of massive popular mobilization of workers, peasants and various sections in the same extent, that is not happening today, which is a fact. But you have peasants upsurge. You see, in North India, Kisan agitation, then the agitation of wrestlers, I have mentioned, the agitation of students and youths, the victory of progressive democratic students in Delhi Jawaharlal Nehru University, which RSS wanted to control. Now, after the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, massive democratic upsurge is taking place in different parts of national capital. Here, I should also mention a particular thing. The distinct ethical characteristics of the left. See, this electoral bond issue, along with Association for Democratic Reforms, it was CPIM which went to Supreme Court and fought. CPM said that we are not going to accept a single rupee through electoral bonds. Now, there is difficulty for Congress to join hands in the struggle against electoral bonds. We demand that all this illegal, unconstitutional money which went to various political parties, Supreme Court should also give a direction that this money should be utilized for providing free housing facilities for scheduled tribe and scheduled caste people. This money should be confiscated by uh, Supreme Court and handed over for various projects to take care of the problems of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. They are in a very miserable condition. So left is different. CPIM is different from various other bourgeois political parties. This also has come out during the course of the electoral board. The point that the kind of massive popular upsurge, whether it is happening in India, the way in which it happened in 1974-75 period, that's a very relevant question. But we, in the coming days, would be trying to take up these issues. In Bengal, you might have noticed a massive mobilization of youth. The entire brigade parade ground was filled with millions of youth. They raised the issue of corruption by the Trinamool Congress government in West Bengal, the semi-fascistic attack that they have been unleashing.
But
So
they
in
are-
different parts of the country, such popular movements are coming up.
The Trinamool Congress is also technically part of the opposition.
Yes, there is cooperation and struggle within the framework of India political arrangement.
You call them a semi-fascist organization.
No, they have been unleashing semi-fascistic terror in West Bengal, as Congress did in 1970s.
But they would turn around and say that the left government in its 35 period rule also unleashed some kind of terror there. That's their argument.
There was no justification to hurl such baseless
The
allegations against the left government. In Nandigram, some underworld incidents happened. That was not any semi-fascist terror. There was agitation of various sections of people in relation to land takeover. And we self-critically recognize the fact that even though left-front government did make very important contribution for land reforms, democratic decentralization, massive progress in agricultural production, at the same time there were certain mistakes and shortcomings also during the left-front government. That is why people punished us more than what we deserve. But people are now realizing it. But there is no comparison between 34-year left-front government rule and the semi-fascistic attacks that Mamata Banerjee is carrying out now.
Anyway, let's come to Kerala. The UDF won 19 out of 20 seats last time. And there are some surveys which predict a similar sort of scenario. What is your assessment? Do you see the UDF having a definite advantage, or do you think the LDF can wrest a sizable number of seats and come back and turn around the situation from 2019?
You see, now the Lok Sabha elections are taking place at a time when the LDF government has rewritten the political pattern of Kerala, which is, 5 years LDF, then 5 years, alternatively change of government. Now LDF has been established with a continuous electoral victory. Not only a continuous electoral victory, we enhanced our influence in assembly, you see, in the last assembly election. Now, you have pointedly asked the question whether 2019 would be repeated or something different would happen. Yes, there would be a repetition of 2004, when out of 20 seats, LDF won 18 seats.
But on what basis do you say that? There is anti-incumbency. The second term, of course, is it's definitely a change from the 40-year trend of the alternating UDF and LDF governments coming to power. But it also means that there is more anti-incumbency against the state government. The people are asking why the welfare pensions haven't been disbursed for 6 months. There is the issue of corruption. There is the Pukod veterinary university incident. You actually emerged as a leader from student politics. So the student outfit of the CPM, the SFI, is under a lot of there's a lot of the other day I was interviewing Binoy Vishwam. So he also made a statement recently, which was carried in the front pages of the Malayalam newspapers. Even he had some issue with the SFI, the way the SFI is working. So these are all people are talking about all this. So on what basis do you say that the LDF can repeat a 2004 like replicated 2004 like situation where they can win 18 or 19 seats?
You see, you mentioned about certain difficulties that people have been facing vis-a-vis 4-5 months delay in distribution of welfare pension and things like that. You see, central BJP government has been trying to strangulate the state government economically, which Supreme Court had to recognize. We went to Supreme Court. It is an extraordinary step. Of course, Section 131 of Indian Constitution gives the right to states to go to Supreme Court if there is some issue between the central government and state government or between two state governments. So we made use of that constitutional provision and went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court asked the central government, what are you doing? You sit down with state government and discuss. Then we sat with the central government and discussed as per the direction of the Supreme Court. Then can you believe the representative of the central government was telling the state government representative that you please withdraw this case, then we can settle. We went and told Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court said nothing doing. The attitude of the central. So now people of Kerala know that it is the wrong attitude of the central government. You see, of the entire tax kitty, 62% goes to center. Whereas in expenditure, 62% of the expenditure is borne by all the states. It is Finance Commission revealed. You know this particular fact. So there is a big imbalance in the central state arrangements of fiscal distribution.
Don't
Now,
you think there's any mismanagement of the finances in Kerala?
Absolutely not. Our CNDG recognized the fact that the revenue receipt of Kerala is going up. All the data is available.
Only
now,
in the last couple of years.
With the LDF government. With
But
the
the
LDF
last
government
5
in
years,
position.
there was the first term of Pinarayi Vijayan government, the GST wasn't going up, the revenue receipts was actually coming down. So in the first term of the government, the second term now in the last year before that, you're right, the revenue receipts are going up.
You see, earlier finances were handled by one of the brilliant economist politicians in our country, Thomas Isaac. Now it is being handled by former Rajya Sabha member K.N. Balagopal. Both of them have been handling it efficiently, and there is no reasonable ground on which they can be criticized. Now, the role of the central government also has been exposed. For paddy, remunerative place for paddy, over 750 crore now only the central government release, which they were keeping with them for last 5 years. Hindu paper exposed that. So more and more facts are coming out. So people know that LDF government is doing whatever is possible to take care of the people. Central government is putting roadblock, and state government is putting up very stiff fight to take care of the rights not only of Kerala. You see, Chief Minister led the entire cabinet and MLAs and MPs to go and sit in Jantar Mandir in agitation. Farooq Abdullah came, Kapil Sibal came, M.K. Stalin sent in his video message of greetings and solidarity. Arvind Kejriwal came, Punjab Chief Minister came. So this is a most important issue, the way in which fiscal federalism is being subverted by the union government. Whatever problems are there for people of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, or even Karnataka. Karnataka Chief Minister also led his colleagues to Delhi. He in fact went a day ahead. We had the agitation on February 8th. He organized it February 7th, even though we announced the struggle first, he wanted to kind of show that we agitated in Delhi a day ahead of Kerala. Whatever, state governments are coming forward. So the people of Kerala, while exercising their vote on 26th of April, they know very well that left can only take care of their rights. Only with a substantial left presence in parliament from Kerala, the rights of the state can be defended and the wrong policies of the center can be fought. So, verdict would be in favor of LDF. We don't have any doubt about that.
But why would the people want to elect the left MPs when they can, even though there is an India alliance, it is actually the president actually calls the leader of the largest party or maybe the second largest party, depending on the alliance. So ideally, people would want a situation where the largest party has more number of MPs. So this is like, you're saying that the left MPs, they'll also be in the opposition, they'll also raise hands in the, as part of the opposition bloc. But wouldn't they, if the idea is to elect an India alliance or the opposition, vote for the opposition, which is what the majority of the people will be exercising their franchise for in Kerala, because Kerala is mostly, the BJP is, still yet to grow beyond 15%. So if that is the case, then wouldn't they elect Congress MPs rather than left MPs, because they'll want the Congress to have more numbers?
You see, your argument is specious. It would appear to be very logical, but if you analyze well, it would be proved to be wrong. Why I say so? Now people know that in big fanfare, when Rahul Gandhi was brought to Kerala, when actually he should have fought BJP in one of their areas of influence, where Congress also has influence. For example, Karnataka. Last time they had the government, but Congress has influence. Now Congress won the state. So then, or Tamil Nadu, where there was a BJP ADMK alliance, which was also formidable. Whereas he left any place where BJP is a force, against whom he could have harnessed other forces. Anyway, that is for Congress to decide where he should go. But since his last election he contested from Kerala, how many seats they got? Congress. They did not even get the number on the basis of which they could have claimed the leader of the opposition status. In Lok Sabha, they didn't have that. Now, if Akhilesh Yadav's party wins most of the seats from Uttar Pradesh, he will have more seats than what Congress had in the last Lok Sabha. Now, 1989, Rajiv Gandhi lost. Who became the Prime Minister? VP Singh. He had less seats than Congress. Isn't it? But
he was the leader of the second largest party.
Second largest party.
Yes.
Now, in 1996, who became Prime Minister?
H.D. Devgowda.
Devgowda did not have more seats than Congress.
But the Congress supported.
Congress supported. So, exactly.
Yeah.
So, the political compulsions Congress had to recognize in 1996. Though they had more seats in Lok Sabha, they realized that they cannot stake claim for forming the government. Actually, then the offer came that Jyoti Basu could become Prime Minister. Yeah. Then CPM decided. That is why you should understand. CPM is
quote-unquote historical blunder.
No. We have. There are different interpretations. But you see, run-of-the-mill argument is that every political party wants power. Isn't it? Here is an instance when CPM could have its leader as the Prime Minister of India. Its Central Committee discusses and comes to the conclusion, no, we don't have substantial presence in Lok Sabha to take up this position. Only then we would be able to protect the rights of the workers and peasants, the masses. They would be expecting something from us. But with the peculiar arrangement, whether non-left parties are dominating in the alliance, then we would be a prisoner in the hands of the non-left parties. We don't want that. So there are political parties which would take principled position. That was the case of 1996. This also shows that the single largest party in the opposition need not be called to form the government. If other parties, if they together have a bigger number than the single largest party, and they say, no, we want some leader from among us to become the prime minister. So these are all things which can be decided after the election. 2019 election, BJP and allies have around 40% votes. Those who voted in 2019, around 60% people voted against BJP and their allies. This is the arithmetical condition. Now after that,
in 2019 they got almost 45 if you take the NDA.
Less than that.
NDA.
Yeah, but they didn't have above 50.
Yeah.
They had 44. 44.
Yeah.
Don't give additional, weightage for them. They had 44 with allies, and 2 of those allies are no more with them.
They have additional allies now.
More than that, people deserted them with, people like molesters of women, wrestlers. How do you think that in North India this would affect? Kisan agitation in North India, that had happened after 2019.
No, somehow the Hindutva issue seems to, seems to be the biggest issue, and Hindutva nationalism, as the BJP's ideology goes, it seems to have become it seems to resonate with the voters more than any of these issues. That's what 2019 proved. Even in 2019, the farmers' protests, lots of things were happening. But the Hindutva nationalism of the BJP, the personal appeal of Narendra Modi in the Hindi heartland, where his communication is very important, unlike the communication of Rahul Gandhi, which is very different. So, regardless of all these issues, as you say, the Brij Bhushan, Sharan Yadav, the Wrestling Association issue, there's the farmers issue, electoral bonds, but still the BJP seems to overcome all that with messaging, that in 2019 there was the Pulwama, Balakot, strikes, and nationalism became the pervading overall sentiment. This time, the Ayodhya, temple consecration ceremony. Then there are so many issues that the BJP is harnessing. Although the opposition is bringing up all these issues, the opposition leaders are being arrested and put in jail. 2 chief ministers, it's very significant. But somehow, all this doesn't seem to bring, as I earlier said, there's no political, it's not reflecting on the ground, simply, as simple as that. So how do you propose to change this? Maybe in Kerala, maybe in South India, the India Alliance can win a large number of seats. But it's in the Hindi heartland where the Congress is not really doing well, and also in UP where the Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party, which combined last time, they couldn't win too many seats. So how do you think this can be tackled? It
can be tackled, and it is possible. Why? First of all, you dispassionately look at the way in which Narendra Modi and his company are behaving. See, insecurity feeling is very much there with Narendra Modi and the BJP setup. Why? Nitish Kumar was forcefully, after having threatened him, all the information would be available with you, how they had to bring him back. Now, his main plank was that main Chakwida who? I will protect, I will not allow corruption to happen. I myself will not do corruption. I will not allow anybody to do. All that in Hindi he says. What is with the electoral bonds? What is the fact? Enforcement Directorate is now known as an organization, central government organization on election duty. ED is expanded as an organization on election duty. With the information related to electoral bonds having come out, what has been revealed? ED has been purposely and criminally used to do corruption for BJP. Now information is available. Some companies, their contribution pattern reveals one particular fact.
It's like an extortion.
Extortion. Before ED started knocking their doors, yes, they donated around 700 crores. After the ED, extortion department for BJP, that is another expansion. Extortion department for BJP, I hope you noticed it. Once they started knocking, more than 4,000 crore, this is the difference. Before, extortion team going and knocking, companies gave 700 crore. After this had happened, then one company, Hyderabad-based company, they paid 1,400 crores to BJP. After this amount having been given through electoral bonds to BJP, BJP decides, government decides to hand over Borivali, Thane Borivali tunnel construction contract worth 14,500 crore. Means they have paid only 10% through electoral board. Other than electoral board, they would have definitely paid some amount. This corruption, this extortion, looting of the country under Narendra Modi is now coming out. This is percolating down to the consciousness of people, and you think that this will not affect? Now please remember, in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi got in the elections more than 400 seats in Lok Sabha, which never Pandit Nehru got, never Mrs. Gandhi got. They were far superior leaders, of Congress. 5 years after, 1989, Rajiv Gandhi lost. Why? Bofors. If Bofors could bring down Rajiv Gandhi from 400 seats in Lok Sabha, what is electoral bond? It is 500 Bofors. Bofors was only 60 crore or 65 crore, whatever.
The trouble is that, even in 2019 there was a Rafale issue, but the voters did not buy it. The opposition kept, Rahul Gandhi, for instance, kept on saying Chaukidar Chor hai, but the people did not, the people especially in the Hindi belt, the northern part of India, they did not buy that argument. They voted for Narendra Modi. This time again the opposition keeps saying all these things, electoral bonds, legitimate issue, the media is covering it, but still there is no popular agitation on the ground. So, and the middle classes, they are quite happy with, they seem to be happy with the Narendra Modi government's performance, and the Hindutva Nationalism, as I said earlier, that ideology is quite strong, working, it's working very well in the northern part of India.
You are right. You have this, ideologically they have an overarching Hindutva narrative,
Yes,
that is influencing sections of people. You are right, I fully agree with. But you rightly mentioned about Pulwama. In relation to Pulwama, the revelation of Satyapal Malik, the then governor of Jammu and Kashmir, this has happened now only. This is going to be explained to people. So RSS and BJP, they don't have any conviction to organize certain events to take political mileage out of that. That is what exactly we have to understand along with about Pulwama, especially after the revelations made by Satyapal Malik. So we would be explaining this. Over and above this, 2019, there was a assurance given by Narendra Modi to people, like various other assurances he gave in 2014. 2019, he said, within 5 years, I am going to double the income of Indian farmers. Did he not say that? Now, the farmer suicide, more than one farmer commits suicide every hour. If we have an 1 hour interview, somewhere in the country there would be one farmer having committed suicide. This is the statistics available. Farmer suicides have increased during Narendra Modi government. Their income did not double. Farmer suicides increased. This is the fact of the matter. This I am sure when we explain to people, including North India, they would be, from their own life, we are relating these things, they would be able to understand the dangers of bringing Narendra Modi and company back to Delhi, apart from attack on secularism, attack on constitution, attack on democracy. We are very sure that we would be able to convince people.
Coming back to Kerala, earlier we spoke about the anti-incumbency faced by the left government in Kerala in the second term, you address the issue of the funds crunch in the state, but there are other issues like I already mentioned SFI's activity. The criminalization of SFI is the general argument.
Can I, you asked that, I'm sorry that I did not address that. You see, there are certain problems in our society that is getting reflected among student community also. But SFI as an organization is organizing students against drug mafia, against criminal activities in the name of ragging. This is the actual approach of SFI in every campuses.
That seems to be the case outside Kerala, but within Kerala.
In Kerala, this is where we have been systematically working on these issues. But there are certain anti-social forces infiltrating in SFI in certain campuses. Because SFI is having the overwhelming support of the student masses. So if you join SFI, you can capture positions in the college union, in university union and things like that. So certain un-SFI-like elements are infiltrating into SFI in certain campuses, and we are viewing it very seriously, and we are taking measures, we are following steps to ensure that such infiltration won't take place. This is the actual problem. If at all some SFI students undergo for some aberration here and there, SFI takes very stern action against them. In this particular veterinary college, there were 18 students involved in anti-social activity, cruelly ragging these boys with her and all that. Whether it was a suicide or murder, all that would be revealed after the inquiry. But it is clear that 18 students were involved and they are charge sheeted. Of that, 4 SFI students are there. Other 14 don't belong to SFI. This is also a fact. But media systematically is isolating SFI and trying to put the entire blame on SFI. It is unfortunately unethical. SFI will not be found wanting in taking stern action against those who engage in anti-social activities. We will not allow SFI to engage in wrong activities like ragging and things like that. We are very firm in that. We will take corrective measures. And people are also realizing it.
But you are a former national president of the SFI, and you would understand what the SFI has, the kind of changes the SFI has gone through from your time in the early 80s probably, or in the late 70s. And now, the time when you became, when you were active in the SFI, it was just after the emergency when the KSU, the Kerala Students' Union, which had a monopoly in Kerala campuses, that ended. That ended after the emergency from the early 70s itself. And that was a time when the SFI was on the ascendant. Then gradually SFI, became a big force in campuses across Kerala. Then it came, there came a point that the SFI hegemony became too big that the other student outfits, they couldn't work in, or they couldn't establish units in many colleges, many universities, that the SFI began to almost dictate terms in many campuses. That's the overwhelming argument of the other student bodies, and also in the civil society. That argument has bolstered after what's happened in the veterinary university. So don't you see that the SFI is actually turning campuses undemocratic in many colleges, many campuses in Kerala? It seems that the SFI just monopolizes their space, the student politics, and there's no space for any other party or any other student unit in those campuses.
You see, now if you listen to the claims of KSU, that itself will disprove what you stated is wrong. Why? KSU, with the support of newspapers, mainstream media which support KSU, they reported that in the last academic session in college union election, KSU was successful in many colleges. If SFI is not allowing any other organization to function, how can they claim that they have won many college unions? You might have noticed.
Yes.
So this is,
They are saying that all the other student unions are ganging up, although their ideologies are very different, but they have to gang up because the SFI is undemocratic, patently undemocratic is their argument.
okay, let that be their argument. But they say that they ganged up and they have been successful in winning.
Yeah.
If SFI is not allowing democratic functioning in campuses, how can they win? This is my question. So it proves their claim that we have won in few campuses means that in few campuses they could function democratic.
We are sitting very close to the university college where the SFI has total monopoly. Can you cross your heart and say that the SFI is letting democratic functioning, or the other student unions can actually function in that university campus?
You see, the SFI unit of University College, they have invited me for a campaign in the college. Then I told them that what I am going to speak, I shall tell you now. If you are happy with that kind of a speech, then only I would come. I told them that I worked in SFI. So I want every student of an institution to join SFI. But at the same time, if there is even a single student who want to be part of a different organization, that single student also should have the democratic right to function as member of X or Y organization. This is my view, and I hear that there is some reluctance to kind of permit this kind of a democratic atmosphere in university college. This is the allegation. Will you be happy if I come and speak this? Will you be able to implement what I say? This is what we want SFI to do. They said, yes, you can say this. So I went there, I participated in the meeting, and I said that I would be happy if everybody here in this college join SFI. But if 2, 3 or 5 students, they want to organize KSU or some other organization, they should have the freedom. This is what we say. This is what we want SFI in every college practice. If some aberration is there here and there, we would try to intervene and correct. The fact that now KSU claims that they won this college, that college and the other college, that shows they can also win. This is the fact of the matter. But there is a very deliberate move in sections of the media to explain that SFI is not allowing democratic function in campuses. Long and short, the claim of KSU and mainstream media that in that college and this college SFI got defeated shows that the allegation against SFI is not truthful.
There's a bigger issue here. The SFI has become the supply line, the feeder organization, which gets the maximum prominence when it comes to the, when it comes to graduating to the youth organization DYFI and then to the CPM. Earlier, the CITU and other, other organizations also had, they also were prominent enough, and many people managed to come over from that side. But now it's the SFI and then the DYFI, and then many of them become MLAs and MPs by the time they make it to the DYFI, or sometimes even in the SFI. So don't you feel that there's a qualitative issue? There's a qualitative change among the personnel. So you are a product of the 70s, and now after almost 5 decades, the things have changed so much, so drastically. If you look at the SFI state secretary, he has some 40 plus cases against him, and I'm speaking about PM Arsho. So when you look at, when you have leaders like that in those positions, isn't it sending a bad message to the student community in general? And it's almost as if the SFI is glorifying someone with criminal cases. Why can't they elect somebody else for that matter to that position?
You see, first of all, we have to address this issue generally. In our society as a whole, after generations, uh, there are certain, what you call decline in the overall quality. At the same time, uh, new qualities are also emerging in society. You can say that you don't have leaders like EMS now, intellectual leaders, or Achidamenavan, or Panambali Govindamenavan. Incidentally, the granddaughter of Panambali Govindamenavan, I read, joined BJP recently. That's only a casual observation. So, this we may be able to say about the literary field also. Is a giants were there. So, these are all creations of different epochs. So, there is no point we comparing like that. Of course, we would be compelled to compare, but we have to be little more cautious while doing that. Now, coming to the concrete question that you asked about Arsho, you see, there was screaming headlines in many newspapers that through influence, Arsho got passed with distinction or whatever in an examination in which he had actually not
written the exam.
appeared.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to go into all details. Later on, it has been proved that this was just an allegation concocted against him, and he never claimed that he had written an examination without writing.
But that's precisely another part of the problem. The left teachers unions, in Kerala everything is unionized. Every sector is unionized except probably the IT sector. So the teachers are also unionized. The teachers, there's the government teachers bodies, private teachers bodies, and again the left has monopoly there. So in campuses where the left teachers are influential, the students also, the SFI also gets a bigger leeway. And it's not just the KSU which is saying it, but there are other teachers who make this argument that Arsho or other student leaders, they managed to cheat the system, as it happened in University College earlier. You might remember the PSC issue. So
anyway, let us settle this Arsho issue first. There are many such allegations, counter allegations, facts. No, in this particular case, without going into the nitty-gritty of it, it was proved to the public sphere, to society, that Arsho was totally innocent in this particular case. He never made any claim. He did not apply for writing this examination, whatever. So it was just, you can verify the facts. It was just a concocted allegation against him in which he was absolutely innocent. So, cases, you see, I was put under DIR, Defense of India rule, as someone who violated Defense of India, Indian security, even during emergency. SFI organized agitations, militant agitations. So, there could be cases. Just saying that this many cases are there against a particular person, that itself does not hold anything against him. That's the fact of the matter. Then the style, there will be different styles among student leaders. Some people won't like the style of a particular leader. Arsho is a militant leader of the student movement. There is a vilification campaign being carried out against him. That is the fact of the matter.
The counter argument was that if this was not brought out by the media, that he had passed the exams in which he did not appear, that would have been the settled fact, and that he would have passed, and the teachers would have turned a blind eye. But let's not give too much importance to Arsho, because this is the interview is much broader. Coming back to the LDF's anti-incumbency, the anti-incumbency against the LDF. The first issue you addressed was the financial crunch, funds crunch. Second issue, the student politics, which has become a huge, it's a big issue. The third issue is the issue of corruption, and this issue is primarily against the chief minister and his daughter. And the party was very quick to defend the chief minister's daughter. The state secretariat of the party, immediately released. The issue was out on 8th of October. Sorry if I got the month wrong, but 8th of a month last year, probably July, yeah, 8th of July 2023. And the State Secretariat of the CPM came up with a statement on July 10th, completely defending the daughter of the Chief Minister, when in the earlier occasions the party took a much different line. Even when it came to the son of the previous party secretary, Kodiyeri Balakrishnan, the party took an entirely different line. So why is the party being hostage to the one leader, the captain Pinarayi Vijayan? Has the party become subservient to one leader, as it happened in the Soviet Union once upon a time?
See, this is a wild exaggeration in this question. You see, first of all, the allegation that there was double standard. When Kodiyeri's son, something happened, party's approach was one. When Pinarayi's daughter, something happened, the approach has been different. Party came out. The party has been very clear in such matters. You see, Pinarayi's son, certain allegations were there that need to be proved, and things need to be revealed, clarified. That clarification was not there. So let law take its own course. That was the approach. That was the right approach. What about Veena Vijayan, Pinarayi's daughter? It is so ridiculous to raise this as a matter of corruption. Now, there are different investigations going on. SFIO is inquiring.
Serious foreign
Earlier, some other investigation was there. SFIO investigation was the second one. Now we hear that a third, ED also is inquiring. Let all these inquiries, it is all central government. State government cannot do. Let all these inquiries be completed. Let truth will come, then we can discuss. Now, what is the allegation? Why in the first report itself, certain things spilled out? Professionally, if they had written the report about this particular company of Ernakulam, they stated that there was a contract signed. The fee was 5 lakh per month. It's a very huge amount. A company getting 5 lakh as a retainer fee. An advocate can get more than that as a retainer fee. We should be very clear about these things.
But they are not paying and doing any services.
Anyway, no. That is, it's very good that we want to go through whether the actual service is being rendered, or if more service is rendered, then will there be any clause that if the quality, let me complete. If the quality of service is higher, then apart from 5 lakh, another 5 lakh would be, there is no such clause. If the service is not to the point, then the amount would be reduced. No. It's like a retainer fee in certain services. Then let me complete. Then, first of all, let the 3 central government agency, over and above that, if they want to, their friends, America has FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, they can also be brought. Such a great fraud. In Delhi, 55 crore is being paid by that Sharat Chandra Rao to BJP through electoral bond. There is full proof. Yeah. Through electoral bond, 50 crore. Now, Arvind Kejriwal revealed 50 crore is being paid. Therefore, from accused, he becomes an approver. And as an approver, he gives certain statements against the Delhi Chief Minister. And central government immediately arrest him. Such things are happening. And you are investigating about the monthly 5 lakh payment between 2 companies. One company pays 5 lakh to, and there is a great fraud involved in that. Okay, let them inquire, let the facts come out. If there is anything, she can be hanged, and Chief Minister can, her father can also be hanged. This is a travesty of truth. People going after this, and you see, first of all, you should understand what is CPIM. CPIM has its own ethics. If the party finds something wrong in the behavior of somebody, party itself will take action. Who are the top? You are speaking that is party afraid of this big leader? You see, the greatest leaders of CPIM living in Kerala today is V.S. Achyutanandan, who is still languishing, languishing under treatment.
Yeah.
When he was chief minister, and the present chief minister, Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan, he was the secretary of the party. Both of them were members of the Politburo. There were certain developments, some public talk by both of them. Party, PB and Central Committee met and decided to remove the Chief Minister V.S. Achyutanandan and the State Secretary Pinarayi Vijayan from Politburo for a period. And this is the strength of this party. You say that this party doesn't have any strength. So please don't speak such baseless things.
No, that's
CPM is different. You should understand.
That's precisely my point. In 2000, between 2006 and 11, when Comrade VS was the chief minister, the party held him on a leash. He did not have the home portfolio.
Not only Pinarayi Vijayan. So not only V.S. Achyutanandan, Pinarayi Vijayan was state secretary. There was disciplinary action on both of them.
Of course, I get that. But when Comrade VS was the chief minister, the party was holding him, to account on everything. The home portfolio was with Kodiyeri Balakrishnan, and the chief minister practically had very little leeway, and the party had complete control over that government. The party exercised complete control over the policy decisions of the government, which I clearly remember. You were a member, you were a distinguished member of his cabinet, Comrade VS's cabinet, and come today, the thing, the equation has changed completely. The party seems to be subservient to the government and the chief minister. The chief minister says something, the party secretary just, he just seconds it, and the party secretary's position as the, number one or the, as the prime adjudicator of the party matters seems to be over. The day seems to be over. The chief minister is dictating terms to the party. So don't you see that change?
I am very sorry that I have to clarify certain points. You see, you yourself said that when VS was the chief minister, I was a member of that cabinet. I was not only a member of that cabinet, I was a member of the state secretariat of the party also. I was a central committee member. So I have been seeing how government party coordination has been happening now, then. And I am seeing the party government coordination happening now also.
There was a coordination committee at that time.
No. You see, the point is that there is no difference whatsoever between the way in which government party coordination, it's not only government party coordination, government LDF coordination also is there. LDF, Left Democratic Front meetings would be held. Because I remember there was this issue of self-financing colleges. So that time I was not a member of the LDF. But to explain and discuss these steps taken by the then LDF government vis-a-vis self-financing courses, medical and engineering colleges, I attended a couple of LDF meetings also. So we have guidance given by LDF to the LDF government, guidance given by party leadership, that is state secretariat, to the state government. This was happening then, this was happening now. There is no major decision taken by the chief minister or cabinet without the knowledge and approval of state secretariat as well as LDF. Every major decision would be taken in consultation. There is a impression being generated. No, now Pinarayi Vijayan is doing whatever he wants. That is wrong. Pinarayi Vijayan is a comrade who is a Politburo member. He regularly attends secretariat meeting. He regularly attends Politburo meeting. If there is any difference, we can point out. He will understand. This is how it is working.
See, when it comes to Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan, he became the chief minister a second time in 2021, and the campaign was mounted on Captain Pinarayi Vijayan. It was very different from Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan. So he is basically elevated to somebody who is practically above the party. Captain. There is no captain in the communist, in the communist setup. It's always a comrade. So, and I remember that there was this Tiruvadira program in Thiruvananthapuram, where you were actually in attendance, where there was this song being played, and which said that Pinarayi Vijayan is responsible for the glory of the party, reaching everywhere, and you were seen, clapping to it. So don't you see that, even such a senior member of the party like you, Politburo member, even you are probably not realizing that this idol worship, idolatry has gone too far.
You see, first of all, the knowing or unknowing, statement that I was happy and clapping for that Tiruvadiri Kali, it is a travesty of truth. Nothing like that had happened. Actually,
You were present there.
I had a program in a nearby place, in a hall. When I was going to attend that, the district party leader said that this is happening here. That is the time of the preparation to the party conferences, district party conference. So I was going to participate in a seminar related to the district party conference. They said, you please spend some time here also. I said, what about the seminar? No, it will take time for the seminar. You see, seminar would be another time, so you can just come here, watch this and go. I have never seen the text of it. What is it? I have never actually planned to be present there. But accidentally, I was present for this cultural accident. After that incident, party discussed, and I understand that party told them that the way in which certain lines have been written to glorify a leader, unlike what we generally do in Communist Party, that was also pointed out to them. This is what has happened. Now the term captain and all that, it is something which various people, who organize certain programs and its publicity, they put it. It's not a party decision. Such things happen. Slogans have been Kanne Karale, then the name of the comrade. That kind of things happen in popular upsurge behind particular campaign. And so far as party is concerned, party is against the cult of individual. We had discussion after Khrushchev report about Joseph Stalin. The undivided Communist Party had adopted a resolution where the contribution made by Stalin was mentioned. At the same time, the cult of individual, which developed in Russia, that a communist cannot accept and endorse. This is the approach of the party. That approach is still holding, validity in the case of Communist Party of India Marxist.
One final question. I know we are out of time, but one final question. In earlier, in the first term of the Pinarayi Vijayan government, Comrade VS was still, somewhat. He used to give certain statements. He was more healthy than he is now. He's practically bedridden now. So, he used to be he himself said that he would be a watchman, a kavalar, and that he would be, and then he, performed the role of a corrective force. Then it seemed that after he stepped away or his health had worsened, the CPI State Secretary Kanam Rajendran used to make certain statements which wasn't in tune with the CPM government, but there would be a different voice coming out from the party itself or from the left movement itself, that there's somebody to, for checks and balances. These checks and balances are very important. There's no check, those things are not happening now. I remember the last statement that you made against the party, probably, which you can correct me if I am wrong, but it was during the first term of the government when Jishnu Pranoy's mother was on protest here. And at that time, many people expected you to be, you are a Politburo senior member, and after Kodiyeri Balakrishnan's passing, I think you are the senior most leader, although S. Ramachandran Pillai and all are there, but you were expected to perform the role of, to do that check and balance thing when it came to the left in Kerala, but you seem to abdicate that. Do you think there is a role either you or somebody else should be playing, that there should be some check and balance to the government in Kerala, because the CPM State Secretary is definitely not doing that?
You see, the checks and balances we do through the committee process. We regularly meet. For example, with the government in Kerala, every Friday there is a party state secretariat meeting, which journalists know. Every work of the government during that 1 week, this state secretariat discusses, if need be. Only issues that need to be discussed in secretariat will be discussed. Politburo meets regularly. If there are any guidance to be given to the LDF government in Kerala, Politburo would be able to give in the presence of the Chief Minister. There are certain times, certain questions asked. There is a particular report about this. What is the fact about that? Then Chief Minister explains in the Politburo. So, if other PB colleagues are satisfied with that explanation, that is the end of it. So, the general impression that checks and balances are done through some leaders making public pronouncements, that is absolutely unethical in the communist structure. See, we maybe on certain issues through Facebook posts, we express certain ideas. Whenever we make such expressions through Facebook or social media, that would be within the framework of party understanding. See? Therefore, the very concept that VS used to say something as a corrective force, Kanam Rajendran used to say something as a corrective force, another individual from CPM or public sphere, a famous writer saying something. See, there can be general statements made through social media otherwise. It may not be targeted on somebody or some decision of the government. If you go through the documents of the party, especially organization documents, we make severe self-criticism there about lack of collective functioning. So far as party is concerned, in Howrah plenum, which was in 1979, if I remember correctly, that was the first most important organizational exercise in which, as a student activist, I was able to participate. That document is in public sphere, where it is stated that proper collective discussion and corrective discussion has to take place in party committees. And secretary should not usurp the authority of the secretariat. Or in the case of All India Party, General Secretary is an important comrade among equals, among Politburo members. So General Secretary should not usurp the authority of the Politburo. And Politburo should not usurp the authority of the Central Committee. So this is the concept of the party. Government-party relationship also equally important. It is under the control of the party and the LDF that government should perform. That is how it is performing. The media narrative that it is not like that, everything is decided by an individual, it's a travesty of truths. We discuss everything, and Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan is such a disciplined comrade who would understand the discussion of the party, the decision of the party. He knows that he has to be subjected to the discipline of the party. This is what he taught as an organization man. Therefore, he cannot violate that. This is briefly what I would like to state about your question.
Thank you very much for your time, comrade. So, that was a special interview with Comrade M.A. Baby, Politburo member of the CPI. I am for the print. Thank you.